Hi all, welcome to the video lecturing series of compiler design. In this video lecture, we are going to discuss about symbol code generator. So, code generator is the final phase of compilation process. In a compilation process, syntax analysis, semantic analysis, intermediate code generation, code optimization and final code generation, these are the phases. Here code generation comes under the last phase. So, what the code generator will do? It generates a target code for a sequence of 3 address statement. So, for a code generator we are giving input as intermediate representation, or we will call IR, and it will produce the target code as the final output. So, in order to produce that we have to give a sequence of 3 address statement. So, while in symbol code generator, the code generator has to track both the register and the addresses, like where it is stored and which and all values are stored. So, all those information has to be keep tracked for the final code generation. So, while generating the code for keep tracking these registers as well as the address, we need mainly two descriptors. They are register descriptor and another is address descriptor. These two register will help us to keep track register as well as the address. Now we will see each one in detail. First is register descriptor. What the register descriptor will do? Register descriptor keep track of values stored in each register. So, what value is stored in each register is done by a register descriptor. So, a register descriptor is used to inform the code generator about the availability of register. Whenever a new register is required during the code generation, this descriptor consulted for register availability. So, if at all while doing a program, in order to store something, we need some register. In order to check whether register is available or not, we have to keep track the value stored in the each register. Whether if it is empty and all, we can use it. So, a register descriptor keep track what is currently in each register. Initially all registers are empty. This is an important point. Initially all registers are empty, and it will keep track what is currently in each register. So, here in register descriptor we are giving more importance to the registers, right. So, register which variable is stored in register, or which register contain which variable. All those informations are given by the register descriptor, which will help us to keep track all this information. Next is address descriptor. What the address descriptor will do? Address descriptors are used to keep track of memory location where the values of identifiers are stored. Like specifies a variable is stored in which location. This location may include like CPU register or heap, stack, memory, or a combination of the mentioned or a combination of this mentioned like CPU register, heap, stack and all. So, this address descriptor specify the variable is stored in which location. Here we are giving importance to variable. Which variable, that particular variable is stored in which location. So, it is giving more importance to the variable. In register descriptor, we are giving importance to the register which variable is stored. Clear? So, which variable is stored in this memory location and all will help us to understand what value is stored in this, and inside which memory location we are storing some particular variable. All those informations are given by the address descriptor. So, address descriptor will keep track memory location where values of identifiers are stored. They specify the variable is used in which location, stored in which location, it gives the variable information. Now, the next is in the case of a register descriptor code generator, it is working based on two important parameters. One is one descriptor, another is a getReg function. This is very important in case of a code generator. It is work based on a getReg function. Normally in almost all question paper you can see what is the function of getReg function in final code generation or a simple code generation. So, a code generator uses a getReg function, getreg function to determine the status of available registers and the location of name values. It will give whether that is available. If it will available, it will give you the location of name values. And getReg function works as follows. If a variable y is already in register R, it uses that register. For example, if this is the register R and I am storing a value y, and if at all in my computation I wanted the value R, or I am using register variable y, so variable y is already present. So variable y is already in register R, so we can use it simply. Else if register R is if some register R is available, it uses that register. Sometimes some other registers like R is available, but it is not storing any value, and if I want some register to store the value y, I can use that also. One case is in a register R it already contains the value y, then you can simply use it. Otherwise an empty location register R is present and I want to store something, so I can use it. That is another case of working. Else if both the above options are not possible, it chooses a register that require minimal number of load and store instructions. If at all y is not present in the register R and there is no unoccupied register R, then what I will do is like I have to choose a register that require minimal number of load and store instruction. That is about the functions of getreg function. So getReg function is used in the final code generation phase, and it will help us to determine the status of available register as well as the location of name values. And next is how the getReg function will work. If y is in register and y is not alive and has no next use after, that means there is a register R, I will write like this, there is a register R and inside R the value y is stored. If y is in a register and y is not live, the variable y is not a live variable, it is dead, we can consider as dead, it is not live. So that means it is not going to be used for further cases, right? So it is not live and no next use after like here doing an operation like x equal to y op z, means we are performing an operation x equal to y operand z. In that case we are using y, after that we are not at all using the value y. Then we will return the register of y to L. Who is L here? L is the address descriptor, right? So it will be returned back to the address descriptor. Okay. And if at all if it is failing, that means that particular action is failed, then what will happen? Return the empty register. And that is empty register is, that returning of empty register is failed means what will happen? It will, if x has a next use, x op y z, in the operation x op y z, x is having further use, that means in further computations I am using the value x in the block or op requires register, then get a register R, store its content into M and use it. Like x is used somewhere else in the program, or I need the value of x in my further computation, what I will do is like I will store its content into M. Then I will use it by using the code move r comma m. So whatever contents are there inside the M, that will be copied to R. Else, if at all that is not the case, we will select a memory location x as L. We will select a new memory location. Either if at all if at all that variable is not live, what I will do is like I'll return the register of y to L, and first case is failed, then return the empty register. Otherwise, X is used in further communication. I'll copy that to M and we'll use move operation. L, select memory location of X as L. Now we will see the simple code generation algorithm. This is very important for your exam point of view. And code generation algorithm is like basic block comprises a sequence of 3 address instructions that we already discussed. Like for code generation, we are giving some intermediate representation, right? So we are giving some intermediate representation IR, and it will give you the final code, right? Final target code is our output. So in that we are giving the instruction in the form of 3 address instruction. Now just consider this example, X equal to Y OP Z. This is a 3 address operation. Now we will see how this X equal to Y operand Z is working by using the simple code generation algorithm. We'll move on to the algorithm. So what we are doing the computation is X equal to Y OP Z. This is our operation has to be performed. So in almost all code generation process, it will call function getReg to decide the location of L. Where is that descriptor value? For that we are using, in order to specify that, we are calling the getReg function. So what is the next one? This is the first step. As the next step, determine, so which are the operands here, Y and Z. So next what I have to do, I will call the getReg function to find the location of L. Determine the present location of Y. Which one is the first operand here? I have to determine the present location of Y. So see, I have to determine the present location of Y. If at all the Y is not present, if at all Y is not present in register R, register L, then generate the following instructions to copy the value of L, copy of Y to L. So what is the instruction here? Move Y dash comma L. So this is the instruction that I am using to copy that value of Y. This Y dash is called prime value, and if at all Y is not present in the register L, I will use this instruction move Y dash to L. Here L is the destination register. So whatever value of Y, that Y dash represents the copied value of Y. Whatever value Y is having, that value is copied into Y dash. So Y dash represents the copied value of Y, and that will be moved to the register L. Here second register is the L is the destination register here, second register. So whatever value Y is given by Y dash, and that value is stored inside L. That is the second step. So if at all the value is present, then what I will do, we can use it. If at all not present, then we have to copy the value of Y to some final destination like L. Next statement is, or next step in the simple code generation is, determine the present location of Z using the same method, like X equal to Y OP Z, right? So this is our expression, X equal to Y operation and Z. In that Y, the case of Y we already discussed. If at all it is present in the present, then we will use the normal address descriptor. If at all it is not present, we have to, if that particular is not present, if that Y value is not present, we'll generate a new and we'll store that value by using copy the value to that to a particular variable, and we will use it. So here in the case of Z also same thing, X OP Z, the location of Y we already found out. Next is Z. Z's location, if at all it is present, what will happen? It will be using the same method as Y. What is the same method? Determine the present location of Y by consulting the address descriptor of Y. That it will do. And if at all that Y value is not present in any of the register, we will call the operation OP set dash comma L, where set dash represents the copied value of set dash comma L, and set dash give you the information regarding the copied value of set. Next is, now L contain the values of y operand set, y operator set. This is our L contain, that is assigned to x. This value is assigned to x, and if L is a register, update its descriptor to indicate that it contains the value x. So whenever x equal to y op set, this was my operation has to be performed, right, y op set, and in that y is and z is not doing, y and z is present in that particular register, we can use it. If at all it is not present, we will copy to some value and we will use that variable name. And after doing that, we have to update both register descriptor as well as address descriptor. These two things has to be updated. So L is register, update its descriptor to indicate that contain the value of x. Another case is update the descriptor of x to indicate that is stored at location L. Okay. If y and z has no further use, they can given back to the system. Next we will see an example. Here you can see in this example, it is given an expression d is equal to a minus b, d is equal to a minus b plus a minus c plus a minus c. Now what is the first step? We have to call the get reg function, and we will convert the expression to a 3 address code sequence. So here 3 address sequence is this a minus b is given to temporary variable 1, t1 is equal to a minus b. Next is t2, t2 will store the value a minus c, and next is I will add t1 and t2, that is t1 is equal to a minus b, t2 is equal to a minus c. After that I will add these two, a minus b plus a minus c, that is t1 plus t2. So t3 will store t1 plus t2. Next, what is the next condition? After that a minus c is t2, right? The result of this, that is t3 again added with t2, t2 is a minus b. So I will do t2 plus t3 and the result is stored inside the instruction d. That is the case for simple code generator. Now the same thing we will see like this. So what is our first statement? T1 is equal to a minus b. So this is the first statement. T1 is equal to a minus b. So what are the operations that we have to perform here? First is T1 is equal to a minus b. Here I have to move the value of a to a register called R0. So what I am doing? I am moving the register value of a to R0. That is why we are giving this instruction, move a comma R0. So whatever here R0 is the final destination. So the value of a is moved to R0. And next is, so what the register descriptor and what the address descriptor will do? This register descriptor will help us to understand register information, right? That is R0 contains T1. This information is given by normal register descriptor. What the address descriptor will do? Address descriptor will help you to understand which variable is stored in that register, and that variable, that particular variable T1 is stored in which register, that is given by address descriptor. Now next see here in this what is happening. Here move a comma R0. So there is a register called R0. There is a register called R0. What the R0 is doing? R0 is copying the value of a. Move a comma R0. So this is the case. Next is subtract b R0. Subtract b R0 is the next statement. So subtract b means here in R0 already the value a is there. Now what I want to do the subtract b comma R0. So here what I will do is like I will generate a block in that a minus b value is stored inside R0. What is the a minus value? That is T1. So T1 is stored inside R0. This is the final case of a minus b. Now similarly for a minus c also, what are the steps has to be done? Here R0, the value R0 contain T1, right? T1 is the value it is stored here. Now next statement is T2 is equal to a minus c. So the value of a should be moved to another register. As R0 is already containing the value T1, I cannot hold that. So I will again generate a register and I will name it as R1. What R1 will do? The value of a is moved to R1. So R0, what the register descriptor will do? The R0 contains the value T1 and T1 in R0, that is the case. Now R0 contain the value T1 and R2, I am generating R1. Inside R1 I am storing the value of a. Now next I am subtracting c to R1. So what I will do? I will subtract c from a and R1. That means R1 is stored inside this a minus c. So that's all about the second step. So here R1 contains T2 and T2 is in R1, that is a register descriptor entry and address descriptor entry. Next I am adding T3 is equal to T1 plus T2. Next basic block is T3 and inside T3 I am storing the values like T1 plus T2 and that result is added in T3. So in this case what are the steps? I will add R0 and R1, right? T1 is a minus b, T2 is a minus c. So I have to add both. So I will do add R1 comma R0. In this case the R0, the destination register R0 contains T3 and what the address descriptor will do? T3 is stored in R0, that information is stored here, right? What is the next step? So here R0 contains T1 and R1 contains T2 and again what I am doing, add R1 comma R0. So I will add these two and the result will be stored inside R0. What will be the result? The result is T3. After adding T1 plus T2, the result is stored inside R0, that is T3, T1 plus T2. Next is I wanted to do the summation of T3 and T2 and that is stored inside D. So here what are the operation? Add R1 comma R0, move R0 to D. So these are the statement. In this R0 contain the value D and D is in R0 and in memory. So hope all of you understood this example. That is all about the simple code generation and simple code generation algorithm. Thank you.